Hey, this is Jack Two Brothers Adventures. Going to show you some fire starters today. These are made from the cotton rounds that you use like to remove makeup or stuff like that. Cosmetic pads, basically. This is the larger one and this is the smaller one. Basically what you do is dip these in wax and then they turn into these little pucks. Now, some people say that they use them with their ferro rods and stuff like that. I've never been successful using them for that. So what I find that they're useful for is using them with a lighter, or what they're really nice for is for these waterproof matches that burn really quickly. So let me demonstrate to you how these work. So the nice thing about these is you can use however much you need. So let's say, you know, this big one, you can take it and use it into several different pieces. Now as you can see, that's kind of fuzzy there. It's exposed some of the cotton. Some people are able to get that to light with their ferro rod. I can't do it. I get it a little slick on this pan here, but as you see, there's a lot of sparks going down there off this blast match, and I can't get that to light. So you might could fluff that up, but I've never been able to really work it and get it to go. But where this does shine is if you've got a lighter and you can put a little bit of a flame to this and get it going, then you've got a significant fire starter here. So with just a little bit of use from your lighter, you can now conserve this resource and not keep holding it onto wet wood or something like that. Now you've got this thing here, you can bend it up a little bit, set it down, and now you can put your tinder and stuff over the top of it, and this will burn for a significant amount of time, give you a chance to dry out some wet tinder or something like that, and you've used very little resources from your lighter. So that's kind of a nice thing. If you make a few of these and keep it with your lighter in a fire starter or something like that, it's a very significant way to use this. Now I'll show you the other way I like to use it is with these. If you're not familiar with this type of a match, they burn very quickly, and you'll see that as I do this. And so to try and get it into your tinder, and especially if it's a little damp or something, and get it to light, you got to be very quick and very precise with it. So you could end up using several of these matches, where again, if you just had a piece of this, let me show you how this works here. And you can see how fast that match burned out, but now I have this. So once again, I can just sit that down, and it can just sit there underneath my tinder, and it'll burn for a significant amount of time. I've only used one match instead of several matches, and now I have this as a fire starter. As you can see, it's fairly wind resistant, so not a bad thing to have around. So in my opinion, these are very useful to make and keep around, but not for use with ferro rods. I wouldn't rely on that, especially when you're cold, wet, tired, whatever. I think this is a much more a complement to a lighter or these type of you know, windproof, stormproof matches that burn rather rapidly. If you want to conserve your resources, conserve your fuel, conserve your matches, this is definitely the way to go. As you can see, you can pull off little tiny pieces. You can use the whole puck. Same with the smaller one. Same thing, you break it. You can make it into however big a piece as you want. So anyways, we'll show you how to make these, and then if it's something that you might want to use to complement your fire kit, you'll at least have the knowledge on how to do it. Okay, I'm going to show you all the stuff that we need to make these. We're going to make two different sizes. These are just the 100% cotton rounds. I got these at Walmart for, it was a 3-pack for like $1.50 or $2, something like that. So they're really cheap. And I also have the Equate larger 100% pure cotton rounds. And those were like $1 for this pack here of 60. Next thing we're going to use is we're going to use just standard Gulf wax. You can use old candles, whatever you want, just so it's kind of a hard wax that when you touch it, it's not going to get all over everything. We got some wax paper that we're going to use to put them on so that they can dry and solidify. We've got a pan that we're going to melt our wax into. Got some chopsticks. You can use tweezers or something else, but you just need something to get it into the wax and get it out with without touching your fingers in the hot wax. And then to melt the wax, I'm just going to use my heat gun on its high setting, and you'll see that it does a really good job of melting this wax. So here we go, we're going to melt some wax. As you can see, that's running off already. So what you want to do is you just want to get enough hot wax down there into the bottom of the pan so that you can dip all of your rounds in it and coat them thoroughly and get them soaked up in that. As you can see, that's just running off there like crazy. So it won't take me too long to get enough down in there. I like using the heat gun because then I'm not using fire or anything else. It doesn't heat the pan up super hot. It's easy, quick. Turn the heat gun back on real quick and melt your wax if it starts to solidify on you without having to put it back on the stove or a double boiler or anything like that. So if you have a heat gun, I highly recommend this. Alright, I'm going to let the heat gun cool off for a minute. Let's set this aside, and then I'll cut my wax is hot in there. I'm just going to take the rounds, each one of them, put them down in there, and as you see, they saturate up right away. Just grab that out. Bring it over. Just do each one, just that's that quick and easy. Make sure it soaks all the way through. And if you have to melt some more wax, that's fine, but you want to make sure that those soak all the way through. I'll show you a couple of the small ones now while I still have a little wax. Some green food coloring in there from another project that I was doing that I didn't get all the way out, it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to have to melt me some more wax, but anyways, that's the gist of how you do that. Then you can either just let these dry and solidify on their own, or you can speed the process up by putting them in the fridge or the freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and melt some more wax and take care of the rest of these. Okay, so I've had these in the fridge for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. And I'm going to pull these off now. They're all solidified, as you can see. So nice hard pucks. And ready to go into some kits. They're nice and, you know, they're not going to get on you. So the little ones put in smaller kits. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Making you some fire starters, and this will last for quite a few fire startings there. So I'm ready to put these back in my kits that I've depleted, and they'll be there for the next time I need them.